When I was 18 years old, my boyfriend at the time gave me a book called Joshua, and it changed my life. I decided that I was going to major in religious studies and that what I wanted most of all would be to write in the same way as Father Gerzon, the author of that book, to inspire people as much as I can. About 20 years later, Father Gerzon popped up in my life when I went through a very severe depression, and he is here with me now to tell you how he worked through his own depression.
Well, Treese, when I was in the monastery, I was only a young fellow, about 15 and a half at the time, and the depression started. I didn't know what the cause of it was. I'd always been very, very close to God, close to Jesus ever since I was a little kid. But for some reason or other, when I was about 15 and a half, I lost it all. And I couldn't understand why. And I had the feeling, is it because God's angry with me for something or other? Or did I do something wrong? I can't even feel God's closeness anymore. So that began in almost 12 years of depression. Pardon me. And at the time, you couldn't go to psychiatrists or anything like that because psychiatry really wasn't a widely accepted science in those days. And so I had to figure out ways of coping with this depression myself. And I figured, well, depression is an emotion. It's a feeling. And I'm going to have to try to see if I can't find things that can replace that bad feeling. And so I realized that I liked to draw, I liked to paint, and I didn't have any thing to paint with. But one of the things that I did is I figured, well, I'll carve little figurines. And so I got cakes of ivory soap, and with a little knife, I'll carve figurines out of the cakes of ivory soap. While I was doing that, it was fun. And I found myself looking forward to doing that. And whatever time I spent carving these little figurines, I was happy, and I didn't feel the depression. I also like to work in gardens. And in the summertime, I work out in the garden and plant flowers and things like that. And I found a lot of satisfaction doing that. So all the time that I spent working on those things, I was free of the depression, even though it was only for a few moments. And then I found a whole list of things that I could enjoy doing and look forward to doing them. And each of these things contributed to helping me to avoid the depression, one moment at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 day at a time. And so for the whole 12 years, I fought the depression by really escaping from it by doing things that I enjoyed doing. And it was a big help. And even though the depression never fully left me, at the same time I was able to avoid the devastating effects of depression when it has total control over you.